What is up, Broncos fans? The Denver Broncos show back here again to do another video. In this video, I'll be talking about the Broncos' 31-21 loss to the New England Patriots this past Sunday. We fell to 2-3 with this loss. Tough one for us. This was very reminiscent of our losses to the Texans and the Falcons. I first and foremost want to apologize for not having up game recaps for the Oakland and Houston games. That was due to the simple fact that a pretty big life moment happened for me over the course of the past couple weeks, and I haven't had internet access or my camera. I just got my camera back a couple days ago, so that's why I haven't made a video in a while, and I do apologize for not having recaps up of those two games that we had against the Texans and Raiders. So anyway, now getting into this loss that we had to the Patriots on Sunday. The Patriots offensively were great. They had 444 total yards of offense against us, 193 passing yards, 251 rushing yards. They really beat us up at the point of attack. Our defensive line was horrible in this game. The Broncos, on the other hand, had 402 total yards of offense, 332 passing yards, and 70 rushing yards. I thought Peyton Manning was flawless in this game. He played great. This has been his third game in a row where he's really starting to look like his old self and is really playing sharp and really smart football. And I thought he was phenomenal. But I didn't really like the play calling on offense, and I was really kind of disappointed in the lack of balance that we showed in this game on the offensive end. Now getting into some of the good things we did here in this game, starting with the offense. We were 7 of 13 on third down conversions. You like seeing that. There was a quarter or two there where we didn't do a good job of keeping drives alive, but I thought, especially in the first quarter and the fourth quarter, we did a great job of converting on third downs, and I thought we were pretty sharp once again in our third down offense. As I mentioned earlier, I thought Peyton Manning was flawless in this game. This was really his third game in a row where he's looked great. In this game against the Patriots, he was 31 of 41 for 345 yards. He had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I thought he was great. I thought he outplayed Tom Brady here in this game, and I thought he was just really smart, making quick decisions with the football. I thought the 2 big deep throws that he had to Demaryius Thomas in this game were just beautiful throws. The back shoulder touchdown throw that he had to Eric Decker was great. He just made phenomenal throw after throw here in this game, and he's just looking like his old self again. In the last 3 games, Peyton Manning has thrown for 1,013 yards, 8 touchdowns, no interceptions, and is completing his passes 65% of the time. You love seeing that. He's just been great, and he did a great job of really keeping us alive in this game. I think this loss kind of fell more so on our defense than our offense, and I thought Peyton, even though the defense didn't really play well and the run game really wasn't going too well for us in this game because we weren't really running the ball all that much anyway, he still kind of made up for those shortcomings and put us in a position to win. And if it wasn't for a turnover here or there and a couple fumbles, we might have won this game. So I thought Peyton Manning was great. Thought he looked phenomenal, and made some great throws in this game. I mentioned the touchdown throw to Decker, and even the 2 deep balls to Demaryius Thomas. Had a couple nice touchdown throws to Dreesen and Stokely. He just looked great, and he's really starting to look like the Peyton Manning of old. We were 3 and 4 in the red zone offensively. Love seeing that. Obviously, the one time that we did not convert in the red zone was at a very costly moment and due to a fumble by Willis McGahee. You hate seeing that, but all in all, the red zone execution was really good on the offensive end. You did gain over 400 total yards offense against this Patriots D. I mean, we had really no problem moving the ball on their defense, and we had 5 receivers here in this game with at least 4 catches or more. Demaryius Thomas was phenomenal in this game. He had 9 catches. Decker had 4 catches. Dreesen, I believe, had 4 catches. Tammy had 6. Willis McGahee had 5. I mean, Peyton Manning just did a great job of distributing the ball all over the place and really keeping the Patriots defense on their heels, and just did a great job of getting everyone involved, and the flow of the offense I thought was pretty good in this game for the Broncos. And when we did run the ball in this game, we did it pretty well. We averaged 3.5 yards per carry here in this game against the Patriots defense. We did only have 70 rushing yards, but that's because we fell behind so quickly again and really weren't allowed to establish a running game. But I would have liked to see us be more balanced on the offensive end and give Willis McGahee and even Ronnie Hillman a couple more touches and get that running game going. I think it would have opened up the play action passing for us and for Peyton Manning. I think that would have played dividends for our offense. But now looking at some of the things our defense did well here in this game against the Patriots offense, there's not really much to be happy about as a Broncos fan when it pertains with the way our defense played here in this game against New England. But looking at some of the good things we did on that side of the ball here in this game, Von Miller I thought was phenomenal. He had a Defensive Player of the Year type performance here against the Patriots offense. He finished with 8 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and he almost had an interception on Tom Brady. Did a great job of kind of disguising that he was dropping back into coverage. Kind of confused Tom Brady and almost picked one of his passes off. I thought that was a brilliant play by Von Miller. The 2 sacks that he had were great, one of which came off a beautiful spin move to the inside. He just destroyed the right tackle on that play, and the other sack, excuse me, that he had in this game, he just worked his tail off for. The forced fumble was huge for us in the fourth quarter. Great heads-up play by Von Miller. Big hit on Stephen Ridley. Did a great job of ripping the ball loose from Stephen Ridley's hands. You love seeing that. And then the 5 tackles for loss are great. I thought Von Miller was one of the few guys in this game on our defense that was great against the run. Did a great job of getting in New England's backfield and causing some disruption for their offense. He had a huge play for us. I believe it was 3rd and goal going into halftime. It looked like New England was going to score another touchdown, and Von Miller just did a phenomenal job of timing the snap, getting in the backfield and kind of tackling Stephen Ridley, I believe, by his ankles, forcing him, to a 2 or 3 yard loss, and that was a huge goal line stand for us. We were able to, hold New England to a field goal, and it was all because of the great play and great tackle that Von Miller, made there on that drive. So I thought Von Miller was just flawless in this game, and he played great. I thought our pass rush was solid. We did finish with 4 sacks. We hit Tom Brady 5 times. We did a decent job, primarily in the fourth quarter, of getting to Tom Brady. As I mentioned, Von Miller had 2 sacks. Derek Wolfe had a sack in this game. Doomerville, I believe, had half a sack. We did a decent job as the game wore on of getting to Tom Brady, and we did a pretty decent job of rushing him and pressuring him, but he did a real good job early on in this game, especially in the third quarter, of just getting rid of the ball quickly and not really giving our pass rushers even a chance to get to him. So you got to give Brady some credit here in this game. He made some really quick decisions with the football, which kind of messed our pass rush up here in this game. We held New England to 0 points in the fourth quarter. You like seeing that. I thought our defense definitely showed up in the fourth quarter, gave our offense a couple shots to really cut the lead down and maybe eventually help us come back and win the game. But defensively, you got to play 4 consistent quarters against a great offense like New England has if you want to win, and we didn't do that here. Champ Bailey did a great job of holding Brandon Lloyd in check here in this game. Lloyd had some pretty nice catches on Bailey, but I thought Bailey's coverage on Lloyd was pretty good all game. He held him to 3 catches for 34 yards and did a really good job of kind of taking him out of the game, especially in the second half. We even held Gronkowski in check. He only finished with 4 catches for 35 yards. Got to give our linebackers and safeties credit for the coverage they played on him. And we even held Brady in check. He only finished with 223 yards and only 1 touchdown. I mean, New England really didn't beat us through the air. They had some big gains through the air, and Wes Welker killed us, but where they really beat us was physically up front with their offensive line just destroying our defensive line and with their run game, and that's what really killed us. Now talking about some of the bad things we did here in this game, starting with the offense. The 3 turnovers we had, the 3 fumbles were terrible. McGahee's fumble was really bad for us, really huge for the Patriots. We were driving down the field in the red zone looking like we were going to score in the fourth quarter, cut the lead down, make it a 1-possession game, and then Willis fumbles it. Can't have that. That was a huge mishap for us. Demaryius Thomas's fumble in the first quarter, great throw by Manning, great catch by Thomas, and great job of him to beat his man downfield. It was like a 40-45 yard pass. Looked like Demaryius may have took it to the house, and then he fumbled the ball. That's now 3 fumbles for Demaryius Thomas this year. That's not good. That's got to change. Ball security's got to be more important and a priority for our offense, especially Demaryius Thomas right now. That killed us. And then Peyton obviously also had a fumble on a sack. He was just getting overwhelmed by pass rushers. I put that more on the offensive line than him. But the turnovers nonetheless really killed us here in this game, and 2 of which came at horrible times for us, and 2 fumbles cost us points here in this game that essentially lost us the game. Those 2 turnovers were also huge reasons why we fell here to the Patriots. We had no balance on offense, as I mentioned, because we fell down early here against the Patriots. We kind of had to go to the passing game, and we just didn't have much balance on the offensive end. We had 44 passing attempts to only 20 carries here in this game. Would like to see more balance on the offensive end. We outscored 17-7 in the first half, once again starting out slow. Did a good job of playing well in the first quarter, but then fell apart in the second and third quarter, and then I showed up again in the fourth quarter. That's just the rapid inconsistency and the somewhat slow starts that this team has had this year has really put us behind and has really killed us here this season, and a reason why we've lost 3 games. That was a big reason in all of these losses, and a big similarity in all of them is that we were outscored in the first half and really didn't do a good job of starting well and playing well. So gotta, once again, play 4 consistent quarters of good football. Consistency is also got to be kind of a big priority for the Broncos right now, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Now looking at some of the bad things our defense did here in this game, as I've mentioned already multiple times here in this video, I thought the defense was a big reason we lost this game, and I thought they played very poorly. We gave up 444 total yards of offense to the Patriots here in this game. I thought our defense just got out-coached, out-executed, outworked. Our defense just got their asses kicked, quite frankly, and New England's offense, got to give them credit. They played really well here in this game. We gave up 251 rushing yards to New England's offense. You can't do that. I mean, our defensive line just physically got manhandled by New England's offensive line, and New England's ability to really control the tempo and pace of this game just absolutely wore out our front seven and our defense in general, and they were able to really kind of impose their will on us physically and did a great job of beating us at the point of attack. They averaged 4.6 yards per carry. Stephen Ridley had 151 rushing yards in this game. He had a touchdown as well and averaged 4.4 yards per carry himself. Woodhead and Bolden combined for 21 carries and 104 yards. I mean, they were just destroying us. Ridley really killed us, but even Woodhead and Bolden were big for the Patriots offense here in this game. Woodhead had a huge run on 3rd and long that really killed any momentum that we had at the time and really hurt our defense, and physically we just got our asses kicked up front here in this game by New England. So Wes Welker was awesome in this game for the Patriots. He finished with 13 catches, 104 yards, and a touchdown. He lit up Chris Harris. Chris Harris has usually done fairly well against Wes Welker, but he, for some reason, just got owned by Wes Welker in this game. He didn't play well. It looked like he got confused and lost sometimes in this game on Wes Welker. And New England did a great job of just running kind of underneath, quick, short routes with Welker and then allowing him to make plays in the open field. And he beat Chris Harris every time, so he was able to pile up the yards after catch here in this game. That hurt us. New England's offense was 11 of 17 on 3rd down conversions. Our 3rd down defense was embarrassing, pathetic, terrible in this game. New England had plenty of 3rd and long situations. I'm talking, 3rd and 12 to 3rd and 17 or 18 type situations, and were able to convert on those 3rd downs that were 3rd and forever or 3rd and long, and that killed our defense. I mean, New England had one play, as I mentioned earlier, with Danny Woodhead, where it was like 3rd and 15 or something like that, and they ran the ball with Woodhead, and he was able to get a first down and had 35 total first downs in this game, 89 total plays. They just completely wore out our defense here in this game. I mean, New England, if you look at the time possession, they had the ball for 35 minutes and 49 seconds. We only had it for 24 minutes and 11 seconds. Our defense just couldn't get off the field. New England was great on 3rd downs. They had a ton of first downs and 89 total plays. I mean, they wore our defense out. But the lack of consistent pass rush has really killed our defense. Elvis Dumervil, in particular, since that 17-sack season he had in 2009, he only has 12.5 sacks since that 09 season. So 12.5 sacks in 3 seasons. He did miss 2010, obviously, with a torn pectoral, but he really has not been consistent ever since having that breakout year in 09. And that lack of consistent pass rush has really hurt our defense, because it's almost like it's Von Miller versus 5 offensive linemen. He's the only guy that is consistently getting to the quarterback on our defense and in our front seven. So Dumervil needs to step up. Obviously, his level of play since 09 has not been where it should be and needs to be. And the Broncos need to get better play and production from their defensive line, and everyone else. Just they need to kind of help Von out up front and help take some pressure off him. Look at the 2 previous games we had against New England. We were outscored by the Patriots 86-33. In the last 2 games we played against them with Tim Tebow as our quarterback. In this game, you only outscored 31-21 by New England with Peyton Manning, and you didn't even play your best football. So that's another positive to kind of take out of this game. In a way, this loss was almost a little bit of a step forward, and I think kind of a game for Broncos fans to kind of look at with some perspective. And the reality is we've lost to top-flight competition, and we were much more competitive against the Patriots here in this game with Peyton Manning as our quarterback than we were with Tim Tebow, and you can already see the improvement that Peyton Manning and some of the other offseason moves has made for this team with our ability to compete with these top-flight teams, even though we're not playing our best football right now. Got a big game coming up on Monday night against the San Diego Chargers, who just lost to the Saints. They're 3-2 right now, and it's going to be a big game. Monday Night Football in San Diego on the road, chance for us to make a statement. We win, we take over the lead in the AFC West, and that would be saying something, because we'd be 3-3 and in lead of our division with our best football ahead of us, in my opinion. So going to be a tough game. San Diego's not a pushover by any means, and hopefully we can get a big win on primetime TV and take over the driver's seat, if you will, in the AFC West race. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, go Broncos.